might come into the game.
You see, those that wanted this from Rivers, those that don't want it from Rivers, that those that wanted it from Rivers, does it make you right? No, as long as it's still on the part of justice.
You know, justice.
Let me come in.
Yes.
Now, what is right and what is wrong is subject to what the law says.
That's right.
It's not moral.
What is just?
It's not morality. Now,
it's not morality.
Now, let me also say this.
Yeah.
Now, don't also forget the production or the handing of staff to the traditional ruler comes from the governor of the state.
Which is wrong. That's what I'm saying.
Now you can't say that it's because it's based on what's on the constitution.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. We have to challenge that.
Now that one has to be through constitutional amendment, which takes a long process.
Kingsley, you see, our life also, our generation will take a long process. Yes. When things are wrong and we want to fight the cause, we don't just look at our lifespan.
Yes.
Our children should understand that our fathers initiated this. It got solved even in our time. It's not so bad. What we know and see that is not right today, we can initiate the process of change. Even though we might not necessarily benefit some. Sorry to digress, Pa Adebanjo was warning us that while we will be dealing with the consequences of 2023 election, he would have been long gone, as if he knows.
And now it's gone. Okay, so let me tell you why it becomes a little bit difficult. For example, some kingdoms are hereditary.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Some kingdoms have families, maybe a line of 4 or 5 that they pick from. Right? Then some kingdom have different this thing. Some are by vote. Some are by who is the richest. Do you understand? That's why it's difficult for you to have a flat.
But I think it's a platform we are still going to have, because we can't keep having people like Emir Sanusi, being summoned by the IG.
Let me just put it in this one. The Kano Emirate has always had a problem. Don't forget, even the Sanusi's father was removed.
Yeah.
Do you understand? To allow his brother to come in. So it has always been an emirate that has always had a problem. And I think if you look at the character of who those involved, it's going to go.
When you talk about police, nobody's above the law.
Yes.
Nobody is above the law. Not even the IG himself.
Yes.
But when police invite you, police are meant to be dealing with crime.
Yes.
And things like that.
Yes.
And it is unbecoming of our royal father in one way or the other to be involved in crime. And that is why we keep saying that the more they dissociate themselves, like Peter rightly said.
But there was a crime in this issue. Somebody died.
That's what I'm coming.
Yes.
So the more they dissociate themselves from the things like this, the better for us. It is from both sides. Let the royal fathers themselves dissociate themselves from things like this that makes them to be called upon by police and things like that.
And let the political people to stay on their own. Because they are criticized doesn't mean that they should be fought. Because we know that Sanusi has been criticizing this president.
Let's move away from Sanusi and probably move to NLC and the Labour Party and Abure judgment. There was this judgment that came, and we don't know what's going to arise from here. We are talking about matters,
because neither here nor there.
Matters are rising, and LUP is arising. LUP is arising. Both sides, on all sides, are claiming victory. The Nenadi part of it are claiming victory. Abure is claiming victory. NLC, tend to be working with Nenadi people. They are also claiming victory. And they are planning to invade the LP National Secretariat. Allegedly.
Because that's what Abure said. Because the people that have not said they want to invade.
Abure claim. That's why I said claim. That they are claiming that LP and NLC are going to invade their secretariat. I'm just wondering, why do we resort to physical way of exercising political power? We have our judiciary. The Supreme Court just said that
they should go and settle their
issue. They should go and settle themselves. So have they gone to settle among themselves and couldn't come out with a compromise? Why the invasion? Why things like that? I had expected that the first thing Abure would do is to call all stakeholders. The Supreme Court said we should all go home, or even Nenadi themselves, rather than claiming victory and misinterpreting. This side said the other side are misinterpreting. How about them calling a kind of conference and take it up from there rather than invading secretariat, and at the end of the day, police will see the place off?
Okay, so the seat right now is being occupied by who? By the Abure-led LP. Yeah. So they are the one that have the standing to say, all of you come together. Now, the Nenadi faction also looking at the fact that our party has been hijacked. And if we stay on course with this party, we're not going to go anywhere, because some people in government, their hand are still fingered in the party's crisis. Yeah. So that's why it's difficult. And I am sure, or I think, that the Abure faction is a faction that is kind of a little bit tended towards the ruling party's whims and caprics. So it's going to be difficult. And maybe will I say hell bent on what they want to do and the way they want to run the party. And the other side doesn't feel that this is not the way our party should be run.
Peter, what do you think the Labour Party should have done so that at least they put their houses in order, both at the state level and
the problem with Nigerian politics is winners take it all. That is the problem. Abure could have called for a meeting. He could, but there's no guarantee that these other people will respond.
Yes.
There's no guarantee. See, two of them, they've gone to the extreme. Reconciliation now has to be a third party. A person, a figure like someone like Obi that has used that platform to run. That's someone like OT, that's a sitting governor. But for any of these two to call for reconciliation, it's not going to work. And for crying out loud,
but like you were saying, a lot of people have alleged that this is a wish of APC, so that they will continue to fight.
Don't forget that.
The very key Labour is, if a Labour person, I'm sorry about that, but the truth is that Labour is dead. Labour was a party because Obedient movement moved in.
Yeah.
Prior before their last election, Labour was like every other party, another small party there. It's not become popular because of Obedient movement. And as we're seeing, it's most likely that the Obedient movement have left Labour.
Yeah. They are trying to stand on their own. Tanko is always trying to make it distant.
So no, but we already know that the Obedient movement are trying to look for locations where they can have their offices distant from that of Labour.
Yeah.
And also the fact that this Labour themselves, we all know that Oshomole was a Labour man, and the Mabure were his boys. So they still have his ears, or they still have their ears, whichever way you look at it. But if you say they will settle, I don't think so.
Okay, you mentioned Peter Obi the other time. I didn't. Did you realize that Peter Obi was actually very happy that the emir we were talking about before, that the case that rather than come all the way from Kano to Abuja to talk to IG or his team, that he actually hailed
the
decision of the police to ask Emir to talk to the state office.
Command.
State command.
You see, that's one of the things that is beautiful about Obi. He lends his voice in most of this thing, no matter how that they look at. That's one of the things we have not enjoyed from the past two administration of Buhari, now of Tinubu. Most of the time, they don't lend their voice to issues and all that. For example, Tinubu lent his voice to the 16 people that were killed in Uromi.
Yeah.
But in Bakos right now, there are a lot of people that are being killed in Plateau State.
They say he has declared a national manhunt for them.
So why has he not declared a state of emergency?
well, okay.
And it's from you right now that I'm hearing that he has declared it. But we have not heard it on media.
Yes, it's in the media.
The way he spoke physically, he should have even spoken.
That's what, we said it about the other day, that it's unfortunate that the death, why may they so rest in peace. Nobody supported Jungle Justice.
No, not at all.
But if he took the incident in Uromi for the 16 people that were killed, for almost all the governors to find their voices against our insecurity, then let's see what happens thereafter.
Exactly.
Because people have been dying.
Yes.
They've been killing people, going to people's farm on the way, everywhere you can think of.
Even in Toji has been killing people.
In Benue, certain villages were sacked. So I didn't hear any of these governors talking about them. So all lives matter.
So
all
states matter. All whether they're Christians Christ, Muslim,
Many
pagan,
lives.
they all
So
matter.
I just hope the people or the governors eventually find their voice. And I think Tinubu has declared a manhunt for the killers in a plateau. That's that. So getting back to the Obi, was it remarkable that Obi, as usual,
No, he's been consistent on this. He's been consistent on national matters. His criticisms are fact-based. And he says it's not to drag this government down. That's why they get it wrong. He's trying to help the government. What will be criticism about his government?
But I've always said that if the government is wise, any statement from the opposition should be taken as a tool, put it inside your toolbox, and treat it as a free consulting services and use it.
Because if Emir has come to Abuja, the political undertone would have been much difficult for this government to handle. It would have been open to a lot of innuendos, rumors flying up and down. Maybe Abuja wants to incarcerate him. So him staying back has killed a lot of things done. I wish Obi applauded. See, if government understand that Obi applauded when they do good, and when they're not getting it wrong, somebody has to speak up. That's what he's doing. He's in an opposition. He speaks up. Well, things are not going right.
Okay, so Obi now applauding what the government did, in quote, what the police did, because police is also part of the government, it's under the executive. Obi applauding them now. We are not going to find them in the news. If he had said, asking Sanusi to come to Abuja is bad, they would say Obi was stoking fire. How come the government, they are not able to listen and weigh the options, or actually weigh the balance of Obi's statement and see the underlying interest of peace and that of Nigeria in most of his statements? How are they not able to weigh that?
Obi is opposition. You can't take the away the fact that it's opposition. And most of the time, nobody claps for the opposition when they speak the truth. They just feel that he's just trying to make himself popular by saying what he's saying. So I don't think...
I want to keep it to you. Look back. I mean, you've been in this game for a while. Buhari was the opposition for a while, and Tinubu was in opposition for a very long time. And Atiku, we don't know whether he's ever been in opposition. I mean, now it's Obi that is the face of opposition people are seeing. Where is Atiku?
He's in Adamawa.
He's too careful with statements. He's too careful with things to say. Where is Atiku?
That's why he has not been voted in to be our president. No, that's the truth. You see, when issues come up, don't try to rub them and look at it. I don't want to be on this side. I don't want to be on this side. What is bad is bad. What is good is good. That's the truth.
After Atiku is not a royal father that were asked to stay away from politics.
No, he wants to be president of Nigeria.
No. And again, Atiku too has been consistent with his behavior. He stays away from public discourse. Anything that will throw back at him.
Until 3 weeks to election, he wants everybody to step down
for him. Well, he has always gotten it, and I think one of the things the party people should understand right now.
The only time he didn't get it from Obi, he's so foolish.
Exactly. The thing I think I want the SDP to look at right now, they should not in any way consider Atiku as a flag bearer.
I doubt if Atiku will even
you are not in SDP, so you don't know.
I doubt.
Atiku might not be able to say much. That's his problem with having baggage over you. But if you say things are there to be thrown back at you, you were there, you were vice president, this will happen during your tenure. So he's very careful when he comes in. He doesn't want this to be thrown back at him. And that has been him for the past 8-10 years since he's been out of power. You don't see him in public discourse.
Okay. We kept touching the River State because it appears to be at the nucleus of our politics at this time. There is this call by people, 30daysrant or whatever, take back River States, end bad governance, blah, 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 blah. And there is this group, the Northern Youth Council or whatever, saying they are not going to be part of the 30daysrant.
Yeah.
You know, that organization, does it represent it? Of course, there's nothing that represents the entire Northern Youth, but does it represent significant fraction of the Northern Youth saying they are not going to be part of the 30daysrant? They cited issues of peace, that they want peace in as much as they have some disagreements with the government. You know, I think it's Abubakar, was it a spokesperson that was saying that there are other avenues to actually discuss the differences and then the areas they think the government is not doing well. We don't know those avenues. He didn't list them out essentially. But do you think these people represent
the northern youth?
Yes.
Definitely not. I've watched the rant for the time it has been on. A lot of northern youth coming to rant. So he cannot say, you see, you can't speak for me. Democracy is, or the right to speak is private. It's not from state to state or from community to community. I can stay in my room and rant. Now, if they say their group don't want to be a part of the protest, right? Coming out to protest, that's fine. But what people must realize that this hunger and bad governance that we're talking about, it doesn't know Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba. The violence that we talk about that is pervading our country it touches Sokoto, Katsina, Bayelsa, Lagos, Akwa Ibom. It touches everywhere and everybody. Whether you are Igbo, Yoruba, what we should come out to condemn is the evil violence that is in our country and also the bad governance that we are having. So they should not make it north, south, east, or west.
Okay, the voice that spoke for the group was a little bit very, very cordial and conciliatory and very much aligned with what government might like as opposition. You know, always not allowing the current way to speak, but having an exit route. Oh, do not protest. Let's go to the round table. Oh, do not do this. Let's go to the round table. But the round table, you never see.
See, the guy that spoke, if he has said that why Northern shouldn't join, because anytime there's a protest in North, it turns violent. So if he has come from that point, there will be wanton destruction of property, Northern economy will suffer if you allow this to happen. It could have made sense to me. I would understand where he's coming from. But saying let's meet at round table, I should say, where is the round table? And him is speaking from, I think he's based in Kaduna. I know that Kaduna is very friendly with the powers that be in Abuja. So everybody needs an ally. Maybe they find an ally in him. He's a young man, young people are doing this ranting. So people, they find an ally in him, they push him to go and give out the statement to try to dissuade other youths from joining.
The same way Ododo and these people found an ally in that particular lady. And those guys are brought.
So that is it. So for me, I think, for me, he's not a voice.
Maybe they don't get their mama.
He's not a
their
voice.
Mama be that.
He's not a factor.
You don't find mama. Now your mama be that.
Your mama be that too.
You don't get another one.
You know, you see, one of the issue that we are beginning to have is that the youth, because of the hunger that is in the society, what they give to the people is what you call the Greek pie. Do you understand? Make it look as if it exists and it doesn't really exist. People should learn, especially youths, not to take that Greek pie.
Kisley, let me just assume you are a leader. Yes. I mean, you could be our president. Yes. You are qualified.
Yeah, it's flesh and blood as well.
What will you be comfortable with for the opposition to speak true? Is it 30 days rant in the front of their screen? Not going outside to touch anything? Not going anywhere to gather? You understand? Or is it a protest that is stationary, like the one they had in Lagos, led by Siwaji then against Jonathan? You know, in the morning they resume there with musicians, you bring food, you know, or is it the one they'll be marching across the street? Which oftentimes we think things like that disrupt, you know, the activities of other citizens who are using the road users and all that. Oftentimes you are going to need approval from road safety, police and all that to be able to allow to process, you know, anything that goes that way, you know. Or maybe going to television if you have access or things like that. What will you be comfortable with? Or writing open letters to the president, what will you be comfortable with?
All options. All options that you are spoken about right now. From the rant. The rant is not instituted by.
I'm going to keep this video so that when you become the president, I'm going to show you that you
I
take all
want,
options.
I want people to speak when I become the president. The right to speak is a fundamental human right. And I've also told you, the democracy to which we operate is the right for everybody to talk.
So, Peter,
So, is he the president of Nigeria or president of...
President of Nigeria. So you see, the what Peter is doing right now is that because I'm from the south, right? I'm from Edo State. Then I'm from Akoko Edo. I'm the minority of the minority of the minority. I can't be president.
He can be a president.
but let me tell you, it's God that makes kings.
It's God that make kings.
God that make
But
kings.
in Nigeria, it's people that make kings. It's either you're Hausa, Igbo, or Yoruba.
I'm not. I still don't see it that way. You know, Jonathan is not Igbo outside Yoruba.
Yeah.
But let's not get into that.
Apart from Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba, the Ijaw nation is one of the second largest, fourth largest. So and there was something happening at the particular time that they gave it to Jonathan.
That's right.
Jonathan.
I guess.
Me, I don't get all your way.
But you have solid minerals.
A lot of solid minerals. Yes. Look at you.
You know Nigeria is so blessed.
So blessed.
Anywhere is money. Why are we fighting? Why are we not organized to share this wealth?
Look, let me tell you, Okafo. If you go through Okpela, which is very close to my place,
Yes.
Boa is there. Dangote is there.
Yes.
Most of Chinese companies they are there. We can be a nation of our own and enjoy
The former
free.
Brother Cement, the former cement.
Exactly. So we can, even in my local government now, in my constituency or in my senatorial district, our honorable Oshomole is our senatorial district. I mean, very soon I'm sure he will be the Senate
Peter, I was
president.
coming to you. Let me just repeat that there are many ways for opposition to speak. Preventing all ways, actually, like you said, because that was where I was getting to. Preventing any method of speaking from opposition is anti-democratic.
Yes.
What would you prefer as a leader that they use so that you can balance between peace and freedom of speech?
As long as it's not violent, they're entitled to it. What I will be concerned as a president, or if I'm the one in charge, is the reason for this protest, is the reason for this. Why are they out on the street? What do they want? What changes can I make? That's what they should be concerned about. People don't just leave their home to go to the street or go and do the rant. There's issues. Let's look at those issues. Let's see how to address those issues. So when you address those issues, this thing stops. So, but here, this is our present government. Once you do these things, they feel that the opposition is funding you. They are living as if they are not in the society. There is tangible hunger in the society. People are hungry. People are dissatisfied with governance in this country, both the state and the federal level. I'm not just talking about federal level. There's no governance in the local levels. So people want change. People want stability. People want to be happy. People, they deserve being Nigerians. See, we're not conquered people.
Who told you?
We are not conquered people. We are Nigerians. Nobody is more superior in Nigeria than the other person.
Okay. Well, at this point, I want to disagree with him on a particular. At this junction, we are conquered. At the moment people begin to say, "Why must you talk?" Your fellow citizens
in the democracy.
In a democracy,
you know, I've always said it here. Yes. I remember it's like our national anthem.
Yes.
That the dividend for democracy is not street lighting.
No, it's not street. It's not
a
road.
paved road. It's not even a built airport. Because in China, where they don't have democracy, they have good roads. They have all this. They have electricity.
It's not even the right to eat. Because in medieval times,
they were eating. So the freedom of democracy is freedom of speech, the power of choice, the power to vote, elect your leader. Because in the olden days where we have monarchies and different kind of rules, they just appoint the king. Yeah. You have no say in who your leader is.
No.
But these are what democracy brought to the table. To appoint your leader and to remove your leader. So it's not about roads, these are that, no what to do. You know, I see senators when they put street lights or buy sewing machine. This is what do they buy for this their constituency? Grinding machine.
This is what taking us for granted.
Why we buy and grinding machine for their people?
It's very bad.
They will gather them and take picture and say dividend.
Won't they have the beans to grind before they even grind?
Of democracy.
Listen, they do it towards the election period.
Yes.
Somebody will do for 4 years. On the fourth year, towards the fourth year,
you buy grinding machine.
Buy bike.
People forget that for the past 3
No,
years.
the question is, the person you are giving Okada to ride, what is the person's part of progression to success?
Exactly.
After 4 years of Okada, what do you become? What is the development plan for that person? Because these are supposed to be empowerment. How do you empower that person? You know, that's a topic for another day.
And let me tell you,
program should be reevaluated.
Yeah. Now let me tell you something. That's what Peter Obi said the last time. Peter Obi said there are critical structures that we are not looking at. Yes. Education, health, then the hunger that pervades the society. Then look at security. So instead of them doing most of these things, they should build better schools. Create free education. Exactly. To the least square meter of this nation. When there is security, all other things can work. Look, when we were young, we could go to the health center, do you understand, General Hospital, and go there, and everywhere there were good health care system working. I know that very well. But now there are no good health care. There are no most of, I'm sure all of us that are sitting down here, we went to LEA schools. Okay. We went to public secondary schools, and we are this good. I'm telling you. Before we get back to Rivers again, I wanted us to talk about something that has been in the, in a very, very unofficial environment. A lot of people have been saying that our VP, Shettima, was actually probably used for the election, that is being underutilized or has not been allowed to function effectively as a VP. A lot of people were putting side by side what Osinbajo did as a VP within this period under Muhammadu Buhari as the president, as to what Shettima is doing, the functions and the activities, under him. I've never had Shettima come out to complain that he's been underutilized. But finally, I think APC made some statements about that. I don't know if you were conversant with us. I don't know why you are comparing Osinbajo time with this one, because the indices to which you should rate them are quite different. During Osinbajo's time, the president was mostly sick and was abroad. So several times, Osinbajo was brought in to be a substantive president. And if you look at it very well, the time he was president, kudos to him. He was acting president. The acting president, yes. The country was well stabilized. If I remember that time, I was doing a master's program in Zaria, one of my lecturers told me, can't you see the calmness where anytime Osinbajo comes in? Now, this president, Tinubu, he goes to France all the time for state visit, only France. Now, the president is never, the vice president is never brought in as an acting president. Yeah. That's number one. Then number two, of course, between you and I, whether they refute the news going the rounds or not, we know what's going the round. We know that there are alleged plots to change the vice president for the next tenure. Then this odd president too is hands-on in everything that he's doing, so he doesn't need advice. Then but the constitution, the constitution, yes, the constitution provides for a spare tire. Not there are some functions that are under economic, which are given to him. Yes, they've been given to him. He heads the economic team. Do you understand? So, but even what you are heading, why are they parading the news that he's being underutilized? Who's parading? He has which thing? He has which thing? He read it on paper or in real life. The truth is that being a deputy governor, or not deputy governor, but vice president. I will give you an example. They're a little bit different. Their constitutional powers are different. Yes. As important as your principal wants to be. Not completely as a VP. That's why I'm drawing your attention to it. That of deputy governor, yes, but that of vice president, there are some constitutional authorities. There are some constitutional duties. Wait. Do you know that as UK is now, or let's not say UK is good, any minister in this cabinet can call for a meeting and people attend. You know it's hard for VP to call for a meeting. For those economic issues or that function, he can. No. See, now people will go back to the principal and say, this man is becoming too ambitious. He's caged. It's as important as your principal wants you to be. But APC are believing this. Look at Atiku. Atiku was important in the first tenor. OBJ's first tenor. Yes. What happened second tenor? He has really van as brother, hold on. That of Atiku is different. Can I make it clear? Yes. For 6 times he was in court. And he won all of them. But let me also tell you something. Imagine, you understand, he won 6 times. No,
he was in court.
No, Kafo,
there's no way. That's a divided house.
No,
That was the second term.
we are talking about the first tenure. During the first tenure,
he was very active.
He was holding the economic team.
Yes.
But he wanted to plan a coup against his principal.
Economic coup?
No, to take over for the second tenure.
Okay.
Where he recruited people like Ibori, Igbinedion,
my governor
Teargas, Darie, and what happened? OBJ was very smart. I like his smartness. He begged them. He said, you guys are the next generation. Please, let me finish the second tenure. It belongs to you. So that's why he started going to court after the second tenure.
Okay, we will be watching. I think Nigerians are looking at how effective our VP is, because one of the reasons the constitution requires a VP to be as much qualified as the president is because if should anything goes wrong, should the president resign or for any reason he couldn't function, we shouldn't go shopping for a president. So we want our VP to be active.
He should wait till that time.
Yeah, no, hold on, but he has to be as much effective even in his current position, okay? And Nigerians want to see him being effective, just like APC claim he is, okay? And when people are comparing to like you said, two regimes or two tenures, you have to know that the indices are not the same. Like you said, Buhari is a different person. The level of confidence he has in VP might also be different with what Asiwaju has in his VP. Okay, the whole architecture are different. And I agree with you to some extent that the president has power to allow VP to even come and take in certain functions, you know, depending on how much he wants him to do. But as it is now, let us not allow the public to run away with the idea that, oh, Shettima is being underutilized.
But Shettima has been representing the president in so many...
That's what I said, we don't want the public to run away with that idea.
He's saying him outside of...
the idea that Shettima is being underutilized. He has not complained. He has not complained.
The president in what?
He has not complained. What the president wants him to represent.
To who?
In what the
Who will he complain
to? He has not complained. So
I think he went to one of the Asian countries.
Let's just get back to Rivers a little. Do we think this protest should be cut short and probably to avoid tear gas flying over, and they have made a statement, or they should continue?
Well, I will take the gospel that came to us. Let me use that. Gospel of Jesus that came to us with people dying. I'm not saying people should go and die.
That's right.
But people must also stick their neck out. And that's why we are here today.
But we're doing it peacefully.
We are doing it peacefully. They are not doing their own. They are not violent in doing it.
Continue peacefully.
Yes, they should continue peacefully. Okay. I advise Showore that organizing this thing, it should be peaceful. But I heard that either in Ondo State, the AA candidate during the last election, he's been arrested as we speak.
Oh, is it in respect?
It's respect today. Yes, the protest.
And whatever we do,
but we also
want
to advise the police that they should
operate
according to the law. They should allow people to protest. They should not make it turn violent. They should not throw tear gas when they are not. Yes, suppression can cause violence.
Under administration, ministry administration, please. They've heard their voice. Their voice is heard loud and clear. Now it's in public discourse. Please, let's end it.
Okay, so continue peacefully for as much as it's going to get results. Your voices has been heard, and you can go home and
before it turns violent.
Before it turns violent, and continue praying or wishing things get better. Okay, thank you for standing by. Thank you for being with us. And next time on Matters Arising, we'll have many topics to talk about. Again, thank you for being with us. This is Matters Arising on Landslide News. We'll be right back.